let's just cut to the chase. Babies, you want one? I'm going to be telling you exactly what I went through in my pregnancy and labour. I'm going to give you the TMI. I'm going to give you the real. I'm going to break it down for you. You might think I'm a bit disgusting, but what I want to do is show you and tell you what you may experience when you decide to go down this path. This beautiful, wonderful, challenging, horrific experience that we call pregnancy. So stay tuned. So, when it comes to pregnancy, a lot of people talk about morning sickness, and I'm talking about my experience. I was quite worried about getting morning sickness because my mum had it, and then my older sister had it, so I thought, oh yeah, it's inevitable that I'm gonna get it. So when I didn't, I was just like, huh? What's going on? What's gonna happen? Is something gonna happen like that's even worse? So I was having that impending doom. But what I really want to say is that not everybody is going to experience the same things. So where I didn't get morning sickness, I got extreme itchiness. I'm talking itchiness in the sense that I could not sit still. I don't know if anyone can relate to me. I would have preferred morning sickness over this. It was literally, as soon as I touch something, I'd be scratching like I'm on drugs. Seriously, it was like that. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't wear leggings, I couldn't wear certain clothes that I used to love to wear. I could not wear it. So that was the main kind of thing that I experienced difficulty wise. Stop reading books about labour, because 9 times out of 10 your labour is going to be so specifically unique to you that whatever you read will go out the window. As soon as that day comes and the baby say, I'm coming out today, you're not going to remember chapter 2 or how to breathe. You're going to be listening to the midwife who's going to be telling you to push when she tells you to push. So what I'll say is sometimes too much information can make you over anxious or overthink things, or start to worry and panic about what labour is like. Because let's be honest, a lot of us think, oh my gosh, what is labour like? Everyone says it's super painful, and when you read into it and you start watching documentaries about it and different ways on how it can happen and all this, you start to worry. So what I'll say is just be in the moment. When the baby decides to come, be in the moment, adapt to it. Because that's what happens. As human beings, we're very great at adapting to things, and that's what will happen naturally when it comes to childbirth. You will not remember any single book that you read when you're on that bed trying to push out your child. I would say have low expectations when it comes to the labour. So when I'm quite a airy fairy, I love hippiness, I guess. I was thinking about the water birth, you know, chilling, having some chilled music on, candles, all that jazz. Did that happen? No. My baby decided that, no, I'm just going to chill in your stomach for another 2 weeks. She was 2 weeks overdue, so I had to be induced. And I wasn't able to have that water birth. Am I happy about it? Yes. And the reason being is by the time she was ready to come out, I was just like, give me the drugs, give me the drugs, give me the drugs. My mum said to me, don't take any drugs, don't take the epidural, something might happen. I was just like, me don't care. I want whatever you're giving me, I'm gonna take it, because right now all I want is this baby to come out. So that's what I'll say, is that it's all very well and good to plan how you want your baby to come and have like this whole time management thing, and yes, on Tuesday she's gonna come and I'm gonna apply my makeup and then I'm gonna make sure at 2 o'clock I'm ready. No, the baby is the person in charge here. That's exactly, the due date means nothing. It just means she's ready. She's just fully ready. Whether she's gonna come on that day is another thing. And so when it got to the due date, I was really excited. I woke up, I was like, yeah, Leela's coming today. Chris, Leela's coming today. Did she come? I started jumping up and down, jogging, eating hot food. I was just like, she's meant to come today. My dad booked 2 weeks off work because he thought it was gonna come, the baby was gonna come on that day, and she didn't. So this is exactly what I'm saying, is just do not set your expectations too high. When the baby decides to come, they will come. Be prepared. So over here in the UK, there seems to be this really big push to breastfeed your baby once they come. And I'm all for it, because there are so many benefits which that comes from breastfeeding. But I think we need to understand that not everybody will be able to breastfeed. It won't come to people as naturally as others. Some babies don't take or don't latch as quickly as others, and then there is this pressure on us mothers to be able to breastfeed. From some of the nurses at the hospital were saying breast is best. Like my family, if you ask aunties and everything, they'll say make sure that she takes the breast. So there was that message that was constantly on my mind, that this baby better take my breast, otherwise I've failed. I've completely failed. But what I say when I say be prepared is anything can happen. For instance, my child, when she was born, she had to go to a special care baby unit, and as a result I wasn't able to breastfeed her. So she ended up drinking formula milk. So when she came back to my breast, she was like, oh, what's that? And she wasn't latching. So my partner had to literally run and go and get milk and stock up on Aptamil milk. And we weren't prepared for the cost of that, because I just thought, yeah, she's just gonna breastfeed. I'm just gonna naturally just express milk, and it's all just gonna come, it's gonna be flowing and abundant, and I'm gonna share my milk with everyone on the ward because there'll be so much coming. When I tell you that there was nothing coming out, I had so many midwives just prodding me, poking me. I was so upset. But eventually, when I got home, when it wasn't as manic and pressured, I had time with my baby, and I was able to try and find a way to get her to latch, and she did. Although she wasn't exclusively on the breast, she was a combi baby, so she had the milk and the breast, which is fine. So what I'll say is, the baby has to eat, the baby has to drink something. So rather than you stressing about, oh, is she going to get the breast, make sure she has formula. There's no pressure. I mean, the most important thing is that the baby is fed. If the baby is crying and crying and crying and saying that they're hungry, but you're still insisting on shoving that breast in their mouth and they don't want it, just give them the bottle and then try the breast every now and then. So at least then she is, or he is, trying to get used to the breast. Leave your dignity at the door. Leave your dignity at the door. I'm telling you, by the time I was ready to push that baby out, I think everybody and the cleaner had seen between my legs. Seriously. At first I was kind of like, I'm quite a demure person, I'm quite reserved, I've been brought up that way. I don't really like talking about that area. I'm quite shy when it comes to stuff like that. But as the day grew closer, and as more and more people were examining me, and consultants, because they were just wondering why this leader did not want to go through the tunnel into the light, shall I say. There were so many people there. I mean, it was just like a museum. It was just like free entry, come and have a look, legs open, come and have a look. So yeah, it was just, I just learned to grin and bear it. I did cringe a little bit actually. There was a consultant that looked a little bit like my uncle, one of my uncles, and I was just like, oh, this is really awkward. And then he was looking at me like, oh, is it okay for me to just examine you? And I was just like, yeah. And he was very awkward, and the whole examination was very awkward, and he kind of just shuffled away, and I was just like, yeah, this is my life right now. This is literally my life right now. It's just all there. It's just out there. I mean, it doesn't even matter anymore, does it really? I mean, I've just broadcast myself like that to everyone. So yeah, the dignity, just forget it. Forget it. This is where I blame the Kardashians and all those celebrities that post all these pictures and things and make it look like labour is the most beautiful thing that has ever happened, and I look so beautiful in my makeup and everything. It's lies. It's lies. Yes, it's beautiful and wonderful that we've been able to give birth, but it's not glamorous. It is not glamorous. I took a small makeup bag with me to the hospital thinking, yeah, when the time comes, I'm gonna, you know, make sure I look good so that I take my pregnancy picture, my labour pictures shall I say, and it will look all great. That bag was never touched. It was never ever touched, because by the time I was ready to push the baby out, I didn't care. I didn't care what I looked like. I looked like I'd been in the ring with Rocky Balboa. I was so puffy, my face was puffy, my lips were dry. I will say on that point, make sure that you have enough cocoa butter, lip seal, whatever, just to make sure that your lips don't get dry, because for some reason they get super dry. So make sure you have some lip cream to keep you nice and moist there. But what I will say is that you do not think about looking good. I didn't. I can't speak for anyone else, but my thought wasn't, I'm gonna make sure that I look insta ready when I'm ready to push this baby out of this tiny hole. I was just thinking, I need to do this. My legs were stubbly. My mum said to me, make sure you shave your legs and down below. By that point I was just like, I don't care. I don't think the midwife cares, so let's just do this. So if you go in there thinking it's gonna be like this, don't disappoint yourself. You're in there to do a job. No, it doesn't say anywhere that you have to look glamorous. You're in there to do a job, an important job, to get your baby out in the most healthy way possible. Everything else is secondary. If you want to do all that, that's fine, but that should not be the priority. The most natural thing, the most beautiful picture I think that you can ever produce is that natural picture of you and what you've gone through with your baby. I think that's the best picture. So let's talk about the aftermath. The horror that is the aftermath. Now, if you haven't yourself whilst trying to push, your partner will tell you about it anyway. My partner told me that I didn't poo whilst I was pushing, although I don't know how much he's trying to save my black blushes, but oh well. Afterwards, it's gore. It's It's like, I can't even explain it. It's just like, you don't even want to look down, because it just feels numb. It's just numb. It's like your legs in the bed, there's nothing else. It's like there's a big gaping hole. And then the midwife comes in and says, okay, I need you to check and see if everything's okay. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to the toilet and do a number 1 and do a number 2 if you can. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can. I'm scared, mommy. So yeah, I went to the toilet and I sat there. Number 1 was fine. Thankfully, thank God I didn't tear, because I listened to my midwife, and that's another tip. Listen to the midwife when you're in labour. Do not think that you need to push like there's no tomorrow, because 9 times out of 10 you will tear. The midwife knows, she can see what's going on, so if she says push a little bit, just push a little bit and then avoid that tear, which I've heard it can be very painful. But I digress. So I was sitting on the toilet and I was just like, there's a lot going on. My baby's in special care baby unit. I've just had a baby. I'm a mother now. I can't just go home and watch Netflix. I've got things to do. I've got things to do. I also have to try and do number 2. What did I tell you? That number 2 was one of the weirdest, hardest things I've ever had to do, because it literally felt that if I pushed again, my heart would just drop into the toilet. It felt like that. I was like, is this normal? Is this what our body goes through to produce a child? I was just like, and the sanitary pads that they gave me, they were like this big, this thick. I was like, how am I meant to even wear these? Like, this is not glamorous. I feel a wreck. And then on top of that, you have to make sure that you're on it, because it's not about you anymore. It's not about you. It's about the baby. It's about making sure that baby stays alive and you look after that baby. And there's so much to deal with. I think a lot of people kind of gloss over the actual impact having a baby has. They tend to focus on all the positives, which is great, When I went to antenatal classes and things like that, they didn't really delve into the mental health side of things, which I think is so important. It's all very well, yes, they taught us how to put on a nappy, that's great. Thank you, that was good. But I wasn't prepared for the change, the enormity of the change that you go through when you become a mother. The emotional changes. Like, everything that you do is for your child. And not only that, if you have a partner, you have a baby, and everything is baby, 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 baby. And then your partner's saying, baby, where's my baby? I want to be with my baby. And you're just like, I want to sleep. I haven't washed. I'm wearing the same bra I've been wearing since last week. I'm leaking. Everything's leaking. I'm tired. I haven't slept. There's the emotional enormity of it all. And on top of that, you have the anxiety. Is my child okay? Am I doing things right? Is she eating okay? Is she putting on weight? Is she doing this? Is she doing that? Because when none of us are born knowing how to do this, it's all very intuitive. None of us are born with a book in our brains. If the baby's doing this, boom, tick. None of us are born. It's just we learn on the job. It's all on the job training. So there is so much that you have to take in as a mother, as a single parent, whatever, as a parent, to really try and cope. And you really need coping mechanisms when it comes to this, because I think what people don't tell you is it's hard. Not necessarily the physical part, but it's hard emotionally, mentally, especially if you're someone that was independent, if you're someone that used to go out, your time was your time, you were here, there and everywhere. It changes. That's gone. It goes. I think when it comes to babies, when they're not pets. They're not pets. There are little lives that have been entrusted into you, and you have to make sure that you look after them. So there's that. So then I feel like more support is needed when it comes to the mental health of mothers. If you have a good support network around you, use it. If there's people that are saying they're going to help, use them. Use whatever is available, because it's hard work. It's hard work. Not only have to think about all those things, also your body. If you were someone that was image conscious, if you were someone that took pride in how you looked, if you were someone that liked being a size 10, 12, 14, but now it's not the case, you've got stretch marks galore. Let me tell you that there was all those treatments and things that they said that we should put on my skin. It didn't work for me. So I've got tiger prints. I've got tiger prints. But it's all those things as well. I don't know about anyone else. When I look at videos of people saying, oh, I am beautiful, I bear the scars and the marks of childbirth. I can't relate. For a long time, and I'm being honest, I just looked in the mirror and just thought, oh, I just look like a carrier bag. Like, what's going on? So there's all these things that we really need support and help with. I'm gonna bust one of these myths that these people keep peddling to us. Sleep when your baby sleeps. That is a lie. That is a lie. From my experience, that never happened. How are you able to sleep when your baby sleeps? Because there's X, Y, Z that needs to happen. When your baby decides that they want to sleep, you have to make sure that the milk is ready, you have to make sure that the place is tidy, you have to make sure that you've cooked, you have to make sure that you sorted yourself out, you have to make sure, I don't know, there's so many things. You have to wash the baby's clothes and all these things that have to happen in order for you to actually rest. And by the time you've done all of that, best know that the baby has woken up and is saying it's time for round two. It's time for round two. Just like, when am I gonna sleep? You will never experience tiredness in the first few months, and for some unlucky people longer, of tiredness. Like, literally, I never thought I could feel as tired as I did. Just tiredness. Even when I went to sleep, my dreams were tired. And that's if you can even sleep. because even when you go to sleep, you're awake thinking, oh, is she breathing? Is she okay? Is the room okay? Let me open the window. But if I open the window, something might come in and bite her. Let me just check to see if she's okay. And if you suddenly drift off to sleep, she'll wake up. Be prepared for some weird things to happen to you physically after you've had a child. So some of the things that happened to me, and it may have, well, I think it's quite common, is my hair falling out. I wasn't prepared for that. I'd heard things, not too many things, but I just thought it would be cool because my hair was alright before, whilst pregnant. But after labour, I don't know what happened. I looked on my pillow, no hair, but I could slowly see my hairline receding. And I was just like, what is going on here? I know there's some sort of hormone imbalance and stuff, but it was quite devastating. Like, got to the point where I was putting a headband in and then it just kept going back. I was just like, why is my hairline back here? So I had to do a big chop. I've done a big chop at least 3 times since having Leela, only because my hair has never been the same again. Beforehand, I had hair that was really manageable. It did what I told it to do. Afterwards, it's dry, pure dry. Even if I put coconut oil to the nth degree, it was super duper dry. So that was a big change in my hair, and I've just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna keep it short. I'm just gonna rock it like this. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I had some serious bald patch situations going on. And another thing that happened where I thought I was actually dying is my fingernails started to turn black. And doing Google diagnosis, it came up with me having some sort of terminal illness. I was really stressed. My brother was just like, get a grip, you're fine. It's probably a pregnancy thing. But yeah, my toenails started to turn black. My fingernails started turning black. I had to go to the doctors. I had to have so many tests and things. They couldn't see anything. They thought it might be something to do with my liver. But yeah, it was just a pregnancy thing. I mean, now it's fine. But at the time I was just like, oh, this is so weird. This is all very weird to me. Yeah, so I will say that there are many things that you will go through pre and post labour that you need to watch out for, but as far as I'm aware, these are very common things that happen. We just have to ride it out, basically. So it's just another thing to add to what you need to go through. What I'm going to say as well is, do not put too much pressure on yourself as a mother. Do not do it. You're going to do the best you can. You're not going to get it right all the time, but the important thing is that we try. At least we try. We equip ourselves as much as possible. We take the advice that we want to take, not everything that you need to take. And trust me, everyone will give you their advice, from grandma to auntie to everybody. Oh, I don't do it like this. Do what you think is best for your baby, as long as you're not harming your baby. Because the bond is between you and the baby. Your baby, you'll feed off what the baby needs, and the baby will feed off you. And what you don't want to do is be stressed, so that the baby picks up on that and is also stressed, and then it causes double the trouble. Do the best you can. Rely on the support network that you have. That's the best thing that you can do. And what I will say, and what I wish I did, because I have a tendency to worry, is to be in the moment. I can't tell you how many times I was just sitting there worrying, when I could have just been like, you know what, she's fine. The midwife said she's fine. And just enjoying it. I wish I could go back and really take in those moments. But as a first-time mother, I guess you do have that, because you just do not know. It's the fear of the unknown. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Stay safe. Peace.